Two, check two. All right, hey everybody. I say everybody, there's actually 0 viewers, so it's just me here. I'm talking to myself. But I am testing out YouTube's live streaming capabilities, and so bear with me here as I try to figure some of this stuff out. Hopefully someone will join, maybe a person or two. They can ask some questions and learn about Raspberry Pi setup. But in any case, I think if as long as I'm doing this live stream, I believe it shows up as a video in my channel. So even if no one joins, which so far we've got the big 0.0, as long as even if no one joins, you should still be able to watch this after the fact, and hopefully someone will get some good info out of this broadcast. It's actually really interesting doing a live broadcast because I don't. I do a lot of editing on my videos. If I cough or, if my dog barks or something like that, I have the ability to edit that out. So, live, it's going to be interesting to see just how well this goes over. So we'll try it and see what happens. And I'm actually using the Google Hangout version of YouTube live streaming. They also have a way to do it with what's called OBS or Open Broadcasting software. And so I'm probably going to try that next. But I figured I would start small and start simple and just do it with this basic YouTube Google Hangouts live stream, which does give me the ability to show my desktop. Let's see here. Yeah, I can show my desktop. Start. There we go. Yeah, this is my new, present to everyone. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. That is my new desktop background. I made that one up. This is to remind me that Microsoft is peering in on me. And actually, I've sort of found that this desktop is a bit disturbing. So I don't think I'm going to leave it up for very long. Anyways, I do see there are 4 viewers now in the stream. So thank you guys for showing up, and feel free to chat. Feel free to ask questions. Let me turn this off here. There we go. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to comment or join in the conversation, anything like that. I hope you guys are all having a great Friday. If you're on the East Coast or something, it's towards the end of your day, so I hope you have a great weekend. And just say hi if you're out there. I'd love to see it. Let's see. Here's the chat. And again, I am just figuring this out, guys. So hello, everyone. Yep, there we go. Yeah, look at that. Pops right in there. Very cool. 5 viewers now. Wow. All right, man, I am moving on up. Okay, so for the most part, people are here to see the setup of the Raspberry Pi or FreePBX on the Raspberry Pi. That's sort of what I advertise as part of this live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into that. And again, if I notice chats or if I see people that are asking me questions, I'll probably stop and answer those questions or talk to folks. There is also a lot of downtime in the setup of FreePBX on the Raspberry Pi. There's things like, writing the image to the SD card and things like that, where there's a good 5-10 minutes of downtime. So I have a few extra things that I'm going to be sort of trying in between. If there's no questions and no conversation, I will certainly try to accomplish some other things. Really, the one thing I want to do is I want to try to get elastics installed into a virtual machine. So it's something I tried the other day. It didn't work out, so I want to try that again. And I thought that might be a fun little project while we're waiting, while the downtime's happening. So, okay, let's hop right into it. So the Raspberry Pi, here's mine, right here, this little guy. This is the Raspberry Pi 2. It's got an ARM version 7 processor. It's got 1 gig of RAM. So this is kind of a nice little device. I got a lot of light shining on it. Sorry, guys. I've got a window like right here. And it's actually sunny today in Oregon, so the light shines right on this thing. Might be a little tough to see. But there's my Raspberry Pi. You can see this thing comes with a network cable, or a network port, I should say, 4 USBs. Then on the side here, it's got a little place for audio, HDMI, and then this here is for power. It's like the micro USB power adapter. And then on the back, right under here, this is where you plug in the micro SD card, which effectively serves as the hard drive for this device. Okay, so you'll also notice that I've got this cable hanging out of it. So what this is the console cable, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But let me start by sort of talking through how to get Raspberry Pi onto this thing to begin with. So I'm going to switch over to my screen. Again, if you have any questions as I'm going through this, please just type them into the chat. And let me switch over to this screen here. Start screen share, present to everyone. Okay, so if you guys can't see my screen for some reason, again, I'm new to this live streaming, so if you can't see my screen for some reason, just let me know. Okay, so when you are going to be starting the Raspberry Pi build, the first thing that you need to do is you need to download Raspberry Pi, or you need to download Raspberry Pi. You need to download FreePBX. So this is, you can go to raspberry-asterisk.org, and this, you know, I'm here just at the home section, or I'm at the downloads page, but you go to the home section. It's got the latest info about the project, etc. But just go to downloads, and if you scroll down, so here's all the version, the upgrade history, here's the version number. So right now it's version 20, but you can see all the revision history, and if you scroll down, you get the latest image. So here we have a HTTP download or a torrent download of the latest FreePBX image. Now, this takes a long time to download. It took probably an hour just doing the HTTP, and it took just about the same when I did it with torrent. So I did it both ways. I'm not going to go through that now. I've got it downloaded, and it's already ready to go. So the next thing that you need, once you have that downloaded, is you need to have Win32 Disk Imager. So Win32 Disk Imager is just a little program. It's a very simple program for putting an image file, an IMG file, onto something like a micro SD card or a USB stick. So for instance, I actually use this Win32 Disk Imager when I'm doing a like the USB image of FreePBX, to install FreePBX onto a USB stick. I use this same exact program. So let's go ahead and launch Win32 Disk Imager. There we go. Okay, so very simple. Let me close this down to make it easier. Very simple. You've got the image file that you want to load. So let's go ahead and load an image file. Let's see here. Okay, so here we got FreePBX. This is the one that I downloaded from the page here. So pretty big image file, 3.8 gigs. So you're going to need at least a 4 gigabyte micro SD card to run this. Okay, so let's go ahead and load that up. And now we can see D installs blah, 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 blah. There's my image file. Now, very, 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 very important. You want to make sure that you have selected the correct device. Now, I don't actually have it plugged in right now, so I need to do that. Let me turn this off for a second. So what I have here is this little guy. And this is just a micro SD USB, I don't know, converter, I guess you would call it. So here's my 4 gig micro SD card right here. And then it just sort of slides into the back of this guy, like so. You might also have a card reader. So a lot of times they have the micro SD cards come with these SD adapters. So the micro SD card slides into the back here, and then that just goes into a standard SD port. So anyways, this is the one that I have because I don't actually have a card reader on my computer, so this is what I use. So I'm going to plug this into USB. And I might have to reload Win32 Disk Imager. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my screen share here. Oops, screen share. Okay, start screen share. There we go. Okay, so let's see if it pulled it. Yeah, it did. So that's the E drive now. Now, again, you want to be super, super, extra, triple, very careful when you're doing this because the drive is going to be completely overwritten by the Win32 Disk Imager. Okay, so E drive, basically you just want to say write. Warning! Writing to a physical device can corrupt the device. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, go ahead and write. Okay, so now this is going to take a little while. It does have to write 4 gigs almost to this drive. So while that's running, If anyone has any questions about the Raspberry Pi or the FreePBX project, now would be the time to ask. And if no one asks any questions, then I am going to move on and try to do an Elastics install onto a virtual machine. So that'll be interesting as well. Also, let me know, you guys, if you can actually see this live stream. I don't really have any feedback. It shows 6 viewers, so people must be seeing something. It shows my little lights blinking, so it looks like I'm live. It looks like I'm broadcasting. Oh, hang on a second here. I might have to do this. Present to everyone. All right, there we go. So I might not have hit that on the last spot. So for the last portion of that, basically you select your device here, you select your image here, and then you just hit right. And then it starts the progress. So we're already 8% done with the right. I'm going to move this off to the side. And yeah, guys, give me some feedback if you can. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, I'm going to pull over my VMware here. So I just installed this one yesterday. I did a video on how to do FreePBX into a virtual machine, and I'm basically going to try the same thing, but I'm going to try it with Elastics to see if that actually works. So let's go ahead and do new virtual machine. We're going to do custom, and we're going to say next. Workstation 11 compatibility is perfectly fine. I think Workstation 12 is out now. I only have Workstation 11 though. So this is where there's a big difference, right? So if you do this, if I do select disk image file and I browse for Elastics, so here's Elastics 2.5 64-bit. Now if I browse for that, it says, oh, awesome, 64-bit CentOS detected. Okay, but you don't want to do that, because it's going to sort of take over your Kickstarter and set up a lot of things for you and not allow the Elastics ISO to do that. So we want to actually say, I will install the operating system later, and then we're going to click next. Okay, so you just want to choose a generic profile for the operating system. So we're just going to say Linux, and we're going to say other Linux 2.6 kernel 64-bit. Again, we don't want to tell it that we're installing CentOS. We just want it to let the disk do its thing. All right, so say next. We want to put this into D:, oops, D:, and we're going to say here Elastics 2.5 64-bit. Okay, and next. We're now at 27% on the right for FreePBX. Okay, so number of processors is fine. For RAM, I always like to do 1 gig in my virtual machines. 1024, there we go. And next. For the networking, I never use NAT. I don't like to use NAT. So especially when you're dealing with voice over IP, I mean, for something like I don't know, really anything else, NAT is probably fine. But for voice over IP, you want to always avoid a double NAT situation. So if you're hosting a virtual machine with FreePBX or Elastics or some sort of PBX, any sort of Asterisk-based PBX, you don't want it to do NATing and then further NAT out of your firewall. So I just want to use bridge networking, which is going to give this an IP address directly on my Ethernet network. Okay, next. No, it doesn't matter about the disks. I just leave that as is. Create a new virtual disk. That's fine. Disk size, we'll just say 8 gigs. I'll bump it to 10. Why not? 10 gigs. Split virtual disk into multiple files. I usually do that because it actually takes up less disk space in the long run. You can click allocate all disk space now, but if you do that, it actually chunks out 10 gigs. Whereas if you just select this and have that unchecked, it just uses the space as needed. So I sort of prefer that method. Okay, so next, disk file, that doesn't matter. And now we want to actually customize hardware. And we want to click on our CD-ROM, and now we want to load our ISO image. So here we have Elastics 2.5 64-bit. Close, and let's go ahead and finish that. Okay, so here's our virtual machine. It's been created. We're now going to power it on. I hate this little bar that pops up at the bottom. Okay, close that. Okay, so here we go. Now we have Elastics, and we say to install or upgrade in graphical mode, press the Enter key. So that's perfectly fine. That's what we want to do. And again, I see it says 6 viewers. No, people aren't dropping off, it seems. So you must be able to see this. If you are able to see this, just give me a hello in the chat. Oh, 5 viewers now. People are dropping off. I don't take it personally. Okay, so let's see here. Do I have to enable chat or anything? I wonder if I have to enable chat. To list all available commands, enter that. Is that something? It says to list all available commands, enter / / question mark. / question mark. Oh, here we go. Available commands. Yeah, again, guys, I'm new to live streaming, so bear with me here. /users displays a list of participants in the video call. /users. You are the only member of the video call. I guess that means I'm the only one with my camera turned on. Let's see, shortcuts to message, mute, unmute, /users. I wonder if I actually have to, see, I don't think I have to actually enable chat. No, I can just click it, and I should be seeing chat. So let's see. What's this? Oh, emoticons. Awesome. Well, oh, there it goes. Oh, how cute. How cute is that? Choose links. All right, so again, if someone wants to at least say hi in the chat, I would appreciate it. I just want to know if anyone can see this and make sure that it's looking good. Okay, let's get back to our Elastics install. This is now 64%, so we're getting closer there. And on the Elastics install, let's click here. And we're going to say OK for English and OK for US. There's really nothing that even tells me. It just says 5 viewers, but it doesn't even, like, I can't list the viewers. Can't do anything like that. It's interesting. Not sure if I'm really liking this Google Hangout live stream thingamabob. And I don't even know if you guys can see my face on camera. Can you see me as well, or can you just see the desktop? Can you just see my girlfriend, Cortana? Okay. The partition table on device SDA was unreadable. To create new partitions, it must be initialized. That's fine. Okay. So would you like to initialize this drive erasing all data? Yes. And of course, this is a virtual machine, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to say there's our 10 gig drive. We want to, let's see, use free space on selected drives and create default layout. That's fine. You could probably also do remove all partitions on selected drive and create default layout. Those, in this case, they probably do the exact same thing. All right, so let's say OK. Review and modify partitioning layout. No, who cares? Would you like to configure ETH0? Yes, let's do that. OK, so we're going to activate on boot. I'm going to get rid of IPv6 support because I don't need it. I don't use it. And we want to do a manual configuration of the IP address. I'm going to do 192.168.200.13/24, and we're going to say OK. Gateway 192.168.200.1. Primary DNS 4222.8888. Just by default, those are my habitual DNS servers that I always use. OK. All right, so let's say OK. Hostname configuration, who cares? Elastics. OK. And let's go to Los Angeles. There we go. And password. And OK. This thing that's bugging me about installing the VMware tools we don't care about. Just leave that alone. So that's running. And this is running. So we're just waiting right now. We just got Cortana staring at us, and we're waiting. Multitasking, folks. Group chat. Hello, is anyone out there? Hello. Echo, echo, echo. I don't know if you guys are just shy or if the group chat actually is not working for some reason. Maybe I have to enable group chat or something. I don't see any place to do that, though. Huh. Interesting. Okay, 96% on the image, so we're almost there. And in the meantime, we're just going to let Elastics do its thing in the background here. Seven viewers now. Thank you guys so much for joining. There we go, right successful. I hope you're all having a happy Friday. Okay, so we're going to say okay. And I'm going to pull this out of here. Let me switch off my desktop. There we go. Okay, let me pull this out. So now I've got the image on this little micro SD card. So I'm going to pull that out of there. And then I'm going to put it right into the back end of my Raspberry Pi here. So this goes in. Click, click. All right, and now we are loaded. Now, the next thing that you want to do when you actually have the image on and in is you want to install. So there's a couple that you can kind of go two ways from here. You can use a USB keyboard and the HDMI cable, and you can plug this in with the regular power source, and you can sort of just bring it up in on a monitor. Or what I did is I got this console cable. So you see this console cable is plugged in right here to these pins. It basically has these 4-pin connectors. I don't know if that's easy to see or not. And so it goes on those pins, and then this plugs into USB and actually powers the Raspberry Pi through the console cable, through USB. So to do that, I drew up a little picture here. Let me switch this over again. Screen share, there, start screen share, present to everyone. All right, I'm starting to get this stuff now. I am getting this stuff down, folks. Okay, so here we have the pin layout. So you've got this whole pin connector here, and you want to do red cable, black cable, white cable, green cable, and you're just skipping one in the middle here. So red, skip, black, white, green. Oh, cameraman, hang on a second. I clicked on something goofy. Let me go back to this. No, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, let me go back to this. Holy moly! Let's bring my chat back. There we go. Okay. Still no one chatting. That's okay. All right, so here we go. So that's how we set it up. My image is, oh no, I'm just looking at it in mirror. So that's how it's set up. And now the console cable, we can plug in to USB. And we plug this into USB, boom, there we go. So look, see that? Powered up through the console cable. And we can see some activity happening. So right now, this is loading up the OS. Now, since I've got this console cable installed, let me go back to my desktop here. Screen share, this screen, start, present to everyone. All right, I think you guys can see that. Hopefully you guys can see that. We will, hopefully I'm not screwing this whole thing up real bad. Okay, so close this out. The one thing that you need to do for that console cable is you need to download the driver for it. So if you go to Adafruit, and I forget exactly which console cable it was, if you go back to the Raspberry Pi video I did where I was ordering everything, you'll be able to see what exact console cable I got. And that uses this driver right here, this PL2303 Windows driver. So you just download this driver and install it. And then what you get is the console cable as part of your devices. So if I come in here and I go to my device manager, we will see ports, COM and LPT. If I open this up, I can see prolific USB to serial COM port running on COM 4. So you want to check the COM port that it's running on. Okay, now let's go ahead and minimize that. Pop open PuTTY, and we're going to say COM 4. Oh, serial. Sorry, select serial. There we go. COM 4 at 115/200 baud and open. Now, blank. Let's hit enter. There we go. All right, FreePBX login. So let's open this up a little bit. And we are going to do the next thing, which is log in. So by default, we've got root, and then the password is raspberry, enter. And there we go. So we are now in FreePBX. Now, how do you open it up in a browser? Let's open up a new window, new tab, and we're going to go http://raspbx. And it sort of finds it on the network. I know there's a name for that service, or sort of how it finds just a, oh, error, name not resolved. Okay, we're running into problems here. Let's see, raspbx. Let's try it again. Control F5. I wonder if it's because I already had it on the network. Nope, it's not liking that name. Okay, so problems, folks, problems. So let's look at the IP address, if config, and oh, of course. What did I forget to do? I forgot to plug it into my network. So look at that. So the next thing we need to do, let me turn this off again. Okay, we're back to me. All right, very simple. Raspberry Pi, network cable, plug it in. There we go. Okay, so we saw that it just went link up, 100 megabit, full duplex. That makes a lot of sense. And now let's do our if config again. And we got 192.168.200.156. So let's go back here. http://raspbx. Drum roll. Control F5. Still not available. Let me check this out. CMD ping raspbx. Ping request could not find host raspbx. All right, so I bet you if I rebooted the device, it would start working. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go straight to the IP address. So 192.168.200.156. There we go. So there's our FreePBX. So here's our FreePBX running on the Raspberry Pi. And let's go into FreePBX administration. By default, on the raspbx image, it's just admin, 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 admin. And we are into FreePBX. So there we go. It's pretty simple. Hang on, let me check my YouTube here for a second. Oh, just someone added me to their circle. Okay. I got a notice on YouTube, so I was checking that out. Okay. Oh, you're still on me. Hang on a second. Man, see, toggling back and forth between my camera and there we go. Toggling back and forth between my camera and the desktop needs to be easier. Or just like make it so that so that I can tell that my camera or my face is up on the screen somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the open broadcasting because I think that actually works a lot better. I think you get a lot more options when you're doing that as opposed to this. So, okay, so here we are in FreePBX. Again, anytime you log into FreePBX for the first time, you want to change the default * manager password. So let's just go settings, advanced settings, and do that real quick. Mostly I just change it to get rid of that annoying message. Doesn't matter what you change it to. Again, I'm not going to keep this FreePBX, so we're just going to leave it as this. Thanks everyone for joining me. 6 people. I hope you can actually see the screen. 7 people now. I hope you can actually see the screen. I hope you can hear my voice and all that sort of good stuff. If you can, again, please write in the chat. Again, maybe chat's not available. I don't know. Looks like it is. At some point, someone was actually going to chat something that's going to scare the shit out of me. All right, so here we go. Let's go back to our system status. Now, one thing that you'll notice about the Raspberry Pi FreePBX versus the sort of the standard FreePBX ISO install is that it's very, very, very minimal. So well, this is just a warning that says asterisk has been running for less than 10 minutes. But look, there's only asterisk, MySQL, and web server, right? There's no fail to ban installed by default. There's, if you look under applications, like there's just very basic stuff, extensions, IVR, queues, ring groups, etc. So, I mean, no paging intercom, no extra BS, right? So nothing extra in here whatsoever. So the first thing you want to do is, I guess, just figure out what you need installed. So if you come over here to the module admin, See, again, very minimal, just very minimal stuff in here. I'm going to go ahead and say check online, and this is going to pull up a much greater list of items here. The Raspberry Pi PBX, by the way, I have found that it runs not just slower, but kind of significantly slower than just installing on even like a 5-year-old, desktop class machine. It's not a very powerful processor. Okay, I have not done any actual testing of it though. There's a thing that I'd like to get into, actually, some SIP testing. There's an open source project called SIP-P, and that allows you to run tests into a SIP-based phone system. I don't know how it works though, and I need to sort of sit down and figure that out, and then have the capability of actually testing how many SIP connections can happen on this little Raspberry Pi here. Okay, so here's all the stuff that you can install. Let's put a few of these things in here. So I'm going to upgrade everything that I can upgrade first. Let me do that. Upgrade all and process. Confirm. Oh, I just got a message from Scott McGee. We are all chatting on your live feed, but you must not be able to see us. Interesting. Well, how the heck can I see you guys? Well, that's crappy. How does that work? Let's see. Edit. No. Live now. Google Hangout. 6 watching now. Resume Hangout on your live control room. Stream. I'm looking at my other screen here while this is updated. I'm trying to figure out this chat stuff, guys, because I'd love to talk to you. Encoder setup. Chat. Oh, wait a minute. Offline. The stream is offline. Wait a minute. I might have found it. Hang on. Let's see here. Live Google Hangouts, live control room. I'm trying to figure this out, guys. I'd love to see these chats that are happening here. Oh, I found it. All right. Hello, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Is he looking at the chat? Question mark. Doesn't look like it. Really excited to possibly switch from PBX and a Flash on a BeagleBone Black to vanilla PBX on Raspberry Pi 2. Is Google Hangouts different than Google Gaming Thing? Anybody know? I certainly don't know. I have no idea. Are you guys able to see? I mean, now that I can kind of at least get a feel for what's happening, you guys can see my screen okay? Oh man, Scott, you're in the UK. It's late for you, dude. You are spending your Friday night in a technical fashion, I guess. Hello from Norway. Holy moly, it must be late in Norway as well. Just curious to run FreePBX on Raspberry Pi. Let's see. Callie. Yeah, man. Hopefully you bought that from adafruit.com. I did. Wait a minute. Is this going reverse order? Hello from Norway, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I got through to him on Google+. Yeah. All right, cool. Can I now? Here's the thing, though. Can I actually chat into this? Oh, it's just comments. Man, this sucks. No offense. I mean, not you guys don't suck. The chat system is terrible. I can't, like, there's no place for me to actually chat to you guys. Yeah, I see comments popping up. Lots of comments popping up, but no, how the hell do I chat to you guys? Huh. Sorry, and bear with me. Oh, here, this is done here. We can click return. And okay, let's close that back up. Okay, so I'm going to apply that. All right. Well, I wonder if I can do it like on a page. How do the comments work? You know, and again, I'm not big on live streaming. I've never done it before, but like I should be able to interact with you guys somehow. So how do I do that? View on watch page. You know, and watch me accidentally turn everyone off too. Hang on, let's see. View on watch page. What does this do? Oop, live. Okay, wait a minute. Do I see comments here? No, no comments here. Oh, wait a minute. There's comments. Hang on. Just talk again. Florida. Hello from Florida. And Greece. Finland. Holy crap. You guys are from all over the place. I think I just figured this stuff out. I think that did it. Yeah, yeah. Anyone see that one? There is a delay. I was testing around. I was playing around with this earlier. There's probably like, oh, it was a good 10 or 15-second delay. So, yeah, that worked. Awesome. Awesome. Well, what a pain in the ass that is. Yeah, I don't know. That's really kind of a pain. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. That sucks. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're commenting, and at least I kind of figured that out. So I had to go to the actual page, like the live view page that you guys see, and now I can type and I can comment and I can see your questions. Sucks that you can't see that through the Google Hangouts window, though. That would sure be nice. Anyways, and I can see that you guys actually can't see my smiling face. That's okay, but it would be also nice if there was like, you know, little, like kind of like how I do my videos, like, you know, me down, you know, in the corner, you know, just sort of flapping my gums, and you guys can watch what I'm doing on the screen. I'd like to have it set up like that. So again, I'll keep at it and I'll keep trying. I'd like to do these live streams on a regular basis with different topics that people might be interested in. That's another thing. If you guys are interested in you know, specific topics or things that you'd like to see in a live stream, maybe some setup of, you know, Ubiquiti stuff or anything like that. Let me turn on my actual camera here. There we go. Yeah, setup of Ubiquiti stuff or gosh, anything, just standard networking stuff. You know, these phones, I've got tons of different phones I can test around with. Anyways, all right, well, let's get back to it. Let me check on elastics while we're in a little break here. Let's see, full screen 2, start screen share, and present to everyone. Okay, now I'm going to flip back. Again, bear with me. I'm going to flip back. So Christopher Davis says, we can see you when you switch back for the. Okay, cool. So he said it's about 20 seconds delayed from when I was typing in the chat to when you guys actually hear what I'm saying. So 20-second delay isn't too bad, I guess. I mean, you think about that in terms of technology, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's 20 seconds and I'm getting my, you know, my happy smiling face out to Norway and Greece. So that's pretty awesome. Man, you guys are up late, I'll tell you. If I was up late, I'd be drinking a beer. If anyone's drinking a beer, let me know. That's what kind of beer are you drinking? That's what I'm interested in. Okay, so so here's our packages. Let's do a check online again. I just want to show you some of the additional packages that you can install. Oh, Jay, I bought a UVP Basic based on your video and love it. Yeah, UVP is a good phone. I mean, the problem with the UVP is that it's just not very practical. Like it's a cool phone and it works very well. But like if I wouldn't put it in like a call center, you know, or if you just have standard users, you know, that don't need all the fancy bells and whistles. Having a full Android OS next to your, you know, as your phone is kind of unnecessary for most people. Like I'd be able to take advantage of it, and I'd be able to use it, but at the same time, like I have a computer right next to me. So I don't necessarily need to have a full Android operating system. If I have a choice, I'm just going to be, you know, on the computer. Karhu 3 is the beer of choice after a sauna. Karhu 3, I've never heard of Karhu 3. Whiskey, Scott says. Nice. Crosstalk, do you get SIP trunking setting from your ISP? So I do, in most cases. So that's a really good question asked by Spider-Man there. So SIP trunk settings. Let me get my camera back on here. That's an interesting topic. So SIP trunking settings are. It always depends on the provider. Like you have some providers like FlowRoute, and it's one of the reasons that I prefer FlowRoute. If you're interested in sort of pay-as-you-go SIP service, one of the reasons I really like about FlowRoute is, or the things that I really like about FlowRoute is that they have a really great portal, and you can say, hey, I'm running a FreePBX, and it says boom, and it spits out your whole configuration through the portal. Now, that being said, I've also seen a lot of other SIP providers that have just crap for documentation. I mean, they don't have anything. You're kind of just hit and miss. You kind of just have to hope that someone else has figured out how to set up that SIP trunk and they've documented it online somewhere, and you're just doing a Google search to figure out how to get a SIP trunk set up. So I'm actually in the habit, I talk to a lot of customers, and I'm in the habit of every time I run across a new SIP trunk provider that I haven't worked with before, I take screenshots of the configuration. So if it's working, that's great. And I take screenshots of that configuration and I sort of bank them in this, in this folder so that I can have a working model of all of these different types of SIP providers. And I do that for a very specific reason. It's because if there's not enough documentation, putting in the SIP provider information is a huge pain in the ass. So you try this just to, as soon as it works, you just want to grab that and not let it go. So that's kind of what I do. Let me switch back to my screen here. But yeah, great question, man. And so the answer, I guess, is that it depends, and it's sort of hit and miss based on the SIP provider. Okay, so let's see. Bought an EdgeRouter X and a Unify AP based on your videos. Very cool. The EdgeRouter X, I don't think I've played with one of those, but I've played with the Unify EdgeRouter, whatever that one's called, the Unify something or other. Unify Security Gateway, the USG. I played with the USG. I have not played with the EdgeRouter X, but I actually just bought one today. So I'm going to be playing with EdgeRouter X. I'm going to be doing a video on that setup pretty soon. I actually like the EdgeRouter X because of that PoE pass-through. I have a special sort of side project that I'm doing that involves solar and getting a solar-powered wireless bridge out to like a remote location, and that's something that I'm hoping to do a video on once I sort of get it all figured out and dialed in. But I'm thinking of using either the EdgeRouter X with the PoE pass-through port, or just like what's called the Nano Station that has the second Ethernet port out on the back end of it. Okay, so Christopher Davis also set up an AWS Ubuntu instance for the Unify controller. That's very cool. It's a cool little project. Once you have that AWS Unify controller up, it's pretty awesome. I'd like to see a review of CallCentric versus FlowRoute. All right, I've never actually worked with CallCentric, so I don't know who they are. But I mean, if they're another pay-as-you-go provider, certainly if I run across them, I will see if I can figure that out. Christopher Davis again, would you recommend FreePBX/FlowRoute for home users versus something like an UMA appliance? Well, it depends on the technical level of the home user, I suppose. You know, an UMA appliance, you plug it into your network and it phones home and has your everything sort of pre-configured for you, and you just plug your phones into it, I believe. I think that's how it works. So yeah, if that's what you're interested in, great. I don't actually know what the capabilities of UMLA are in terms of like IVR and things of that nature. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I personally would prefer FreePBX, but it's just because I know FreePBX and I know how to set it up. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. And I'm just sort of burning through your questions here. In fact, you know what? While I'm burning through your questions, I'm going to start the upgrade of this guy. So if you, oh, you know what I'm going to do first actually is I'm going to power it down. So I'm unplugging the console cable, and I'm plugging it in. Let me actually put this on this camera here. Man, see this switching back and forth? It just made it too much of a pain in the ass. So I unplugged the console cable now because I know the OS is up and running, and I'm plugging in the actual power into the micro USB slot. Okay, so there we go. Raspberry Pi is now powering back up. It's now independent from my computer, and I can now reopen PuTTY, but with the IP address instead. I wonder if that FreePBX is going to work now. I'm going to give it a minute and then see if that works. Let's try. Maybe it's there. http://raspbx. Because this was working for me when I first tested this. Resolving host. Yeah, name not resolved. So theoretically, you're supposed to be able to just have FreePBX as a name that resolves to the IP address of the machine on your network. And this is actually the first time that this hasn't worked for me. So I think if you just go through, it's probably because I've been fiddling with it too much. I've rebuilt it like 3 times now. So all right, let me get back off my stupid face. Let's go back here to screen share. Sorry, yeah, sorry guys, the switching back and forth, I have to actually think about it, so it takes me a second. All right, present to everyone. But here we go. We can see that FreePBX is still not resolving. Oh, no, there it goes. This time it worked. Yeah, so FreePBX/admin, it probably just took a second for it to boot up. So you should just be able to type in FreePBX, and that works for not only getting to the GUI, but that works for the actual SSH interface as well. Like if I come up here to PuTTY and I say new session, I just say FreePBX, open. There we go. So root, and by default, the root password is raspberry. There we go. Okay, now check this out. This is pretty cool. So this is going to take a long time, and I mean like half an hour or so. But in the meantime, I'll answer questions, and we'll go back to the chat here in just a minute. But look at all these commands you can run. FreePBX upgrade, blah, 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 blah. Does it tell me what version I am? Let's see. How do you figure out what version FreePBX you're currently running? Oh, here, configure time zone. Let's do that first. Configure-time zone. So we are in America. Okay. And we are in Los Angeles. Oop, Los Angeles. We're not in Los Angeles, but that's the time zone that I'm in. Okay. So now it's setting up the time zone. Boom, let's see, date. All right, now we're good, 1:48 p.m. Wonderful. Okay, so, God, I wish I could make this. How do you make the text on PuTTY bigger? I know there's a way to do that. Let's see, save sessions, change settings, terminal, keyboard, no, window. How do you change the font size? Anyone know? Anyone know how to change the font size? I just don't want you guys straining your eyes, especially those of you that are drinking beer and whiskey out there. It's a very small screen to be looking at. Window, appearance. Oh, here we go, font change. Let's go 16-point font. Okay, apply. Oh, there we go, that's a little bit better. Wonderful. Okay, make sure you guys can see that. Okay. Here, I'm going to do this. Sorry, I'm rearranging my windows on the side here. Again, bear with me, guys. First time live streamer. First time live streamer. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I've got my windows set up on my second monitor so that I can see your chats and I can see the stream at the same time. Baller. All right. So we did that. Look at these other things that you can do. So I've done this before, which I'll do after I install the upgrades. But you can do install fail to ban, install fax, add fax extension. Again, I haven't played with Hylafax before. I never, ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever recommend running fax through a voice over IP PBX, ever. So people will disagree with me on that, but in my experience, it's just not worth it. It just doesn't work. That being said, I've never tried Hylafax. So, okay. So what I'd like to do, though, is this FreePBX upgrade. We're going to run that now, and we're going to get ourselves up to version 20. But, boom, that's going to take a long time. Oh, we're already on version 19. But I ran this last night, and I think it took something like half an hour. Okay, so let me switch back over to my camera here. Hello, 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 everybody, and I'll answer some of your questions in the meantime. So let's go here. Okay, so where did I leave off? Edge router X, we talked about that. Call centric, would you recommend? Okay, so I'm using FreePBX and call centric for home. Cool. Well, you guys like call centric? I mean, I've never heard of them. I've never used them. I've heard of them. I've just never used them. Scott, I get a really good service from a UK provider that offers free elastic PayG SIP trunking when you can send unlimited simultaneous call over them and just pay per call. Oh, that's pretty cool. So their model is like, they're just a per minute. Anyone can connect and send calls, but they do per minute. That's pretty cool. Flare out as a backup. Comcast SIP suck because you can only get it if you have a Comcast business account. Yeah, Comcast, pretty much anything sucks is what I hear. I'm lucky enough to not live in a Comcast area. So I've got Charter cable here at my house. Oh, sorry, it's asking for my attention on the other screen. Yes. I've got Charter cable here at my house, and that seems to work pretty well for me. So let's see. Seems like FlowRoute is West Coast. Callcentric is an East Coast SIP provider. I pay like $4 a month. That's really good. VoIPphone.co.uk. Not sure if they have any presence in the USA. I don't want pay-as-you-go. Yeah, it's an interesting thing between pay-as-you-go versus MRC. Certainly, if you're at a small level of calling and you're just using calls for like like home use or something like that, or maybe just like a small office environment, pay-as-you-go is much more cost-effective, especially if you're only calling local, like for instance, like a doctor's office or something like that only does local calling. Pay-as-you-go is great. Like it works very, very well in those situations. But once you get up over, probably 1,000 minutes a month or so, it becomes definitely not cost effective. And there are much better SIP providers and much better, cost effective ways of dealing with SIP once you get up into the higher level of minutes. And certainly once you get up in like the 29, 30,000 and above level. Okay, here we go. Scott, regarding VMware for FreePBX, I had a FreePBX test server, backed it up, built a VMware ESXi FreePBX appliance, restored from backup, and everything worked. Well, that's cool. I think the backup and restore functionality of FreePBX works very well if you're going from same version to same version. I've seen some weirdness, though, when you go cross-version. Like I tried to back up a version 2 FreePBX and restore it onto a version 12, and not everything came across okay. So same version to same version, I think it works really, really well. How do you deal with, all right, Scott, again, let's see. SIP trunk's even connected straight away, and I've been using it for a few months, no issues. That's good to hear, man. All right, Jay, how do you deal with QoS on that Edge router Lite, Edge Max, Edge router Lite, and a Soho PBX? So it's a good question. The QoS on the Edge router is not, it's not a basic QoS. It's more like kind of intermediate level QoS. Like you have to set, and again, I've actually never done it, believe it or not. I run it on my Edge router Lite. I don't have to use QoS. I have a strong enough internet connection, and I don't make enough phone calls. So it just has never been a problem. And I have yet to run into one of my phone system customers who also has an Edge router Lite. So I haven't actually gotten around to setting up the QoS. I have looked at it, though, because I'd like to learn how to set it up. And I will most likely learn how to set it up here, in the coming weeks. It's just one of those things that, like, I've got this huge, long list of, I'm sure all you guys do, a huge, long list of sort of to-do items, right? The things that are on my back burner that, man, I'd love to learn about that. I'd love to figure that out, but as time permits, right? So obviously, I'm an independent consultant. I make my money by coming up with ways to make money, right? I'm not hired by someone. I'm not sitting in an office all day where where I have maybe some spare time to work on these kinds of projects. If I have a customer that's going to be paying me money to do something, I'm focused on that customer. So it's only when times get a little bit slower that I start focusing on these other projects, such as the Raspberry Pi and whatnot. Well, Raspberry Pi, that's just something I've always wanted to play with. But so yeah, I mean, QoS on the edge router, I would love to learn how to do that, and I'm going to learn how to do that, but it's just a back burner thing right now. But from what I looked at, and the way that it kind of works is you set up your service, so like SIP or RTP, for instance, and you tell it how much, you tell the edge router how much bandwidth to leave available. Like you say, you know, I want 10 or 15 or 20% bandwidth always available for this service. And you can also then prioritize that service, I believe. Again, so I'm just sort of just remembering in the very small amount of research that I had done for QoS on that device. But yeah, future QoS video for sure. And I would like to do that. Again, it's just as time permits. Now, let's see what else we got here. I would like to see some QoS settings you have for VoIP. So again, I mean, but honestly, guys, it's pretty straightforward. And it's a little bit more difficult in the edge router, but most people don't have an edge router. Most people have, like, you know, a Linksys or Netgear or you know, Cisco little router. And in those devices, QoS is always super simple. It's just either going to be a per device QoS, where you're basically saying this computer, the PBX itself, the IP address, has priority on the network. That's kind of how Netgear does things, I believe. Or you've got like the Cisco Linksys way of doing things, which is a per port level, right? So you've got, you have to say, okay, UDP 5060 and UDP 10,000 through 20,000 has the highest priority on the, you know, on the WAN. On the LAN, screw QoS. No one needs QoS on the LAN. I take that back. Most people, most SMBs do not need QoS on the LAN because you're running a gigabit network. You know, even if you have 100 people that all pick up the phone and make a call at the same time, you're still only using a very small fraction of that gigabit backbone network. So I very, very rarely, in fact, I've never run across an instance where QoS was required on the LAN. A lot of people set it up because they have layer 3 switches, and why the hell not? But as far as necessary on the LAN, not necessary. It's necessary on the WAN for sure, unless you're lucky enough to live in a place that has, you know, something like Google Fiber or whatever. So, okay, cool. We'll keep the comments coming, guys. I'm glad I got the comments things figured out. I'm going to switch over to my screen again. We can see what's going on here. Start screen share, present to everyone. There we go. Okay, so you can see this is still upgrading. This does take a long time. So in the meantime, let's switch over to, hi Cortana, hey baby. Does that disturb anyone else? I'm not going to keep that wallpaper up for too long. Okay, let's take a look at our Elastic server and where we are here. Enter. Hello. Elastics, hello. No response. Why is there no response? Let me see if I can ping it. I know I set the, this is, by the way, this is the exact situation. This is why I set a static IP address, because now I already know what the IP address is of the server. Ping 192.168.200.13. So no response from ping. I wonder what happened. I wasn't watching the Elastics build, and now it's just not working. Let me reboot it. Power, restart. Nothing. Well, that sucks. I wonder if I'd have better luck with the 32-bit version. Let me actually turn it off. Shut down guest. Power on this virtual machine. Nothing. Well, that kind of sucks. Let me do another one. Power, shut down, guest. Any of you guys experts in VMware? I'm not the best VMware guy. I kind of know what I'm doing, but not really. So I might be screwing something up. File, new virtual machine. All right, custom, workstation 11. I will install the operating system later. Linux is fine. We're going to call this Elastix 2.5. I'm going to try the 32-bit one now. I'll put that back to my D drive. I got to change that default so it defaults to D every time. Okay, next. Next. Give it a gig of RAM. Next. Bridge networking. Next. 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 Fine. Maybe I should bump up the space. No, the space shouldn't matter. All right, let's just do, I'll do 10 again. Next. Fine. Customize hardware. Click here. Use an ISO. Browse. Elastix i386 version. Close. Finish. Start. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look at our putty. So here we go. This is still rolling. By the way, you guys, I am going to also do a video on, how to set up the Raspberry Pi separately from this live stream, because obviously we're doing more than just the Raspberry Pi, and so this doesn't translate too well to actual YouTube video. So look for that coming pretty soon. I'll actually just go through all the same stuff, but basically cut out all the BS. Okay, so here we go. I want to do future 10 gigabit LAN in my house because the 12-port switch is just $800. Yeah, 10 gigabit LAN is not quite ready for prime time yet. But I mean, you start getting down to like, where's my other little guy? Like this switch. Come back on the stream for a second. Like, let's see, where is my, god damn it, how do I do this again? Okay, here we go. Turn this off. Oh, there we go. Okay, like something like this. This is the monoprice 8-port gigabit switch, and it's $24. I mean, 8-port gigabit, 24 bucks. You can't beat that. I actually carry 2 of these as spares at all times because I'll often run into a customer situation where maybe they need extra ports, so it's a very cheap way to get them extra gigabit ports, or maybe I'm not sure if their switch functions properly, so I will use this just as a spare. I can't tell you how many of these I've bought, and then I run out of them within a month because I ended up putting them into a customer's network and leaving them. They just work very well, and they're 24 bucks. I mean, that's awesome. 10 gigabit Ethernet will get down there at some point as well, but yeah, I mean 10 gig Ethernet so far is just kind of, I've never played with it, so I've just seen some videos on it and stuff. Are you still going to release this live stream as a video on YouTube? Yeah, I am going to release this live stream as a video on YouTube. I don't see why not. Might as well, right? Okay, partition table. Here we go with the partition table. Would you like to erase all data? Yes. Oh, hang on, let me switch back off of my smiling happy face back onto my stream here. Show the screen, start screen share, present to everyone. Okay, there we go. So I'm back here now. That's fine. No, I don't care. I don't want to modify the partitioning layout. I just want it to do what it does. Would you like to configure E0? Yes. Okay, so get rid of IPv6. Okay. manual configuration of 192.168.200.13/24. Okay. 192.168.200.1, 4.2.2.2, 8.8.8.8. And I'm doing elastics, by the way, guys, because I'm hoping to do another sort of like the FreePBX 101 series, but for elastics, because I know there are a ton of elastics users out there, and there's a lot of overlap with elastics and FreePBX, but for the most part, but there are some differences, right? I mean, it's based on a different version of CentOS. Like, it's still on an older version of CentOS. The new elastics, the beta version, is CentOS 7, so they've actually come up with the latest version. But yeah, anyways, that's what I'm doing here with elastics. I'm trying to get it into a virtualized environment so that I can actually play with it and work with it. Okay, password. Two years ago, the 10 gigabit switch 12 port was $2K. Yeah, man. Well, you know, like I said, the price comes down and comes down. 2 years from now, it'll be $200, you know? Oh, look at that. I'm getting pings from Elastics already. So it already brought up the Ethernet interface. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. I didn't know that it did that so early. Like, I'm surprised that it already brought up Ethernet just during package installation. Huh. Interesting. Very cool. You guys want to see Cortana again? Hey, baby. You guys running Windows 10? Is anyone running Windows 10 yet? I'm actually fine with it. Now that I've, you know, sort of locked down all the privacy settings and whatnot, I'm liking Windows 10. I'll tell you one thing that I don't like about it, and this is so stupid. I don't understand why it works this way. I have a calculator. I've got a Microsoft keyboard, and on the Microsoft keyboard is a calculator button. So if I press calculator, it brings up the calculator, right? But if I press the button, like I'm pressing it right now, calculator, I can't immediately start typing. See, look, my keyboard is still over here. If I hit that calculator button, I now have to click over here into the calculator, and then I can start typing. It's so stupid. Like, if I press the calculator button, bring up the calculator, and make it the focus so that it works right off the bat, instead of having to click on it. It's just, it frustrates me so bad when they screw up the stupidest little things like that. I don't know. Anything that, anytime you're starting a new application, it should just automatically come up to the forefront. So I'm only going to go on this live stream till about 4 p.m. Pacific. Just so you guys know, I just sort of planned on about 2 hours of live streaming. And, you know, look, if you have any questions, any more questions, anything like that, feel free to ask me. Like I said, I'm here to help you guys out, as well as just sort of screwing around on my computer. Cortana is my personal backup to Microsoft servers. I don't know how Cortana is a bad thing. You did a winky face, so I imagine that you're being sarcastic. Personal backup to Microsoft servers. Yeah, because all of your information is on Microsoft servers now. The problem is you can't access that information. only Microsoft and their entire you know, array of advertisers can access that information. And who knows who else? The federal government probably. Yeah. Privacy is becoming a big issue, you know, like especially with Facebook. Like, Facebook's the worst. Holy crud. You look at some of the stuff that Facebook does, and it's just like super, super scary. I try not to get, like, you know, political or anything on my channel, but like, that stuff is really scary. And especially if it's not curbed now, you know, it could get even scarier. So I don't know. It's an interesting time that we're living in. And so you just, you know, I just try to protect myself and my family as best as possible, including locking out Microsoft from getting all of my personal advertising information. anyone's interested in this wallpaper, by the way, I'm more than happy to share it. Hey, baby. Sorry, I put that on last night, and like, I just like it sort of like entrances me every time I look at it. I have to kind of keep applications up over her peering eyes. Oh yeah, you're looking right at me, aren't you? Okay. Well, we're getting close to the end on Elastic's install here. You know, this live stream, YouTube allows you to live stream for 8 hours. It's like you can live stream for up to 8 hours. Who's going to live stream for 8 hours? I guess if you have an event or something, maybe. But like, man, I certainly couldn't picture myself doing an 8-hour live stream. That's crazy. Elastic's fax. There's faxing again. I want to actually watch it this time, see what happens when it reboots to see if it comes back or not. I guess I could also try just doing the beta version of Elastic's, because I think it's like CentOS 7, but I think it's Elastic's 4. I'm also pretty interested in the Elastic's MT version, the multi-tenant solution. I'd like to know how well that works or what it does. It's funny because like they say Elastic's MT, but you can't find any information about it on their webpage. Like I just want to know the features. I want to look at some screenshots of the multi-tenant features of Elastic's MT. Nothing. You can't find a dang thing about it, so I want to install that as well. So come over here to download Elastic's. So here's the MT, but here, yeah, Elastic's 4.0 beta 1 on CentOS 7. Oh, look at this, micro Elastics, a big solution on micro devices. Elastics for ARM. I wonder if I should put that on my Raspberry Pi and do another one of those. Stable release of Elastics 2.4. Welcome back. Do you have any questions? Hi. How's it going? I always wonder if these are actual people or if it's just an automated system. I'm sure it's just an automated system. Do I block the Microsoft WSUS? What is that? The Windows something update something? Do you block the Microsoft WSU? Oh, there is someone there from your router. I don't do that. I talked about it in my video a little bit. I would potentially block Microsoft FQDNs at the host file level, but I haven't done that. So I just went through all the stuff that I did in my video, and I kind of just figured that was good enough. Do you have any specific info or screenshots for Elastic's MT that list the actual multi-tenant features? Let's see what this guy says. Mark. I wonder what this is. Is this an image file? It's a tar. I'm going to grab this anyways. Oh, shoot. Did that just kill my chat? Oh, Mark, I'm sorry. Come back. Oh, it came back. Look at that. What is this? Live chat? Live chat. Oh, that's pretty cool. We are people. Dave, are you an employee of Elastic's? We are people. Haha. I have a manual. Okay. But in Spanish. Okay. Yeah, I saw that Tech Syndicate video, Spider-Man. That was actually a really good video. I actually based a lot of mine off of that one. Oh, please refer to this link. All right. Well, let's see. It's in Spanish though. It doesn't do me that good. I don't speak Spanish. Un poquito. I'll have to get that later. All right, so let's check on the, I probably missed it again. Let's see. Boy, it's been stuck on this fax thing for a long time. I wonder if that's where it's kind of failing. Elastic's module fax. Okay, thanks. Where are you located? I like to sometimes have conversations, like personal conversations with live chat reps. It's always fun. See if he even answers. All right, let's go back to my screen here. Man, this is just stuck. I wonder if that's what happened with the last one. Oh, let's see what he says. Elastic is an Ecuadorian software. So you're in Ecuador? Oh, is that right? So Desktop Chronicles, Elastic for ARM image is pretty old. Yeah, I know. I noticed there was 2.4 version. Very cool. Sounds warm. So I know that the it's not the latest version of the stable release. It's 2.4, it says. So it's even older than this one. But yeah, that's interesting. Well, I'll still download it and try it. Why not? I mean, pain in the butt to build and actually make it boot successfully. Did you actually, I wonder if Google, because it says pain in this asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. I wonder if Google blocks profanity or if you actually type asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Again, guys, sorry, new to live streaming. I'm just figuring all this stuff out. Mark doesn't know what to say to me. Very cool. I think I scared him off. Oh boy. In FreePBX 13, do you now have to register and activate to even use the free sysadmin module? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so. I know you don't have to register and activate FreePBX 13 to use it, but whether to use the sysadmin module, that's a good question that I don't have the answer to. Oh, looks like Spider-Man says, no, you don't have to. Yeah, but it's a wet heap. I'm just digging with this guy now. All right, let's go back to my screens and see what's happening. Okay, so we're still pinging. Device manager is still up. Elastic is still stuck right there. And what's my Raspberry Pi doing? And that's still updating. Yeah, this is so crazy to me that this is, yes, very humid climate. He's sick of talking about the weather. All right, man. Have a great, great weekend. All right, I'm going to close him out. I'm going to let him off the hook. Message. Thank you for interested in your feedback and support. Please rate your recent chat experience. Awesome. Yeah, so Elasticsearch, apparently they do have a manual for it. It's just in Spanish. So Yeah, that's not gonna help me very much. Okay, well, I hope one of these finishes up pretty soon. 91%. See my ping. I'm still pinging on this interface. Yeah, greetings from Ecuador. All right, David's down in Ecuador. Very cool. People from all over the place. It's interesting. I mean, I do get a lot of international interest in the channel in terms of folks that are using FreePBX from all over the place. So it's very cool. I mean, I just love that aspect of it. Not only are you using networking to allow humans to speak with each other, but it's people all over the world, and I don't know, it's cool. That's why I love FreePBX so much. I just love it. I'm now getting a message since upgrading. To receive the free version, you need to register your system using the activation tab. Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like they have sort of started to lock it down where you only get that sysadmin module if you activate, huh? Yeah, well, look, people have to make their money. I don't like when companies do things that are like, I mean, see, that's okay. If you register, that's fine. No big deal. That's probably not such a big thing. You're basically going to get some emails from them, and they have your email address on file, and they'll send you, they're trying to get you to buy their support and stuff. That's not too big a deal. What I don't like is when companies do like for instance, I used to work for this company. It was a voice over IP. It hosted one of the big hosted voice over IP companies, and they really sort of pissed me off towards the end of my working career with them, because they started trying to do whatever it took to make money and to improve their bottom line at the detriment of their customers, which just frustrates me to no end. Like the one example I had is they came out with a new feature for the product, and I think it was like, it was either some sort of like video conferencing I think it was a video conferencing thing. Like they had integrated with one of the video conferencing providers out there, and they basically had a video conferencing license for, I think it was like $10 per extension per month or something like that. And so they sent out an email to everyone, every single one of our customers, all of the hosted customers, tens of thousands of customers. And they said, basically in the email, we are giving you a 30-day free trial of this software, of this license. And if you don't like it, if you don't want to keep it after 30 days, you can cancel it anytime within the 30 days. But if you don't cancel within the 30 days, we're going to start billing you the cost of the product. Which, like, to me, that's like the shadiest way to do business, because so many people are just not going to notice that email. They're not going to know what you're talking about. They see the email, but they're like, whatever, that's just spam, and they throw it away. They don't understand that if they don't take action and actually do something, they're going to start having to pay a lot of money per month. And that's just so, like, sickening. I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent, but like that's the type of stuff that I hate. So when it comes down to like, hey, we're giving you this free tool that helps you administer FreePBX better, all you have to do is register and send us your email address. I'm okay with that. But like the other type of stuff, man, it's terrible. Do you play games? Do you play video games? I do. I do play video games. I was actually thinking about starting a crosstalk gaming Twitch channel. I play mostly, here's the problem though, I don't get to play that often. I play it like maybe once or twice a week, like for 2 or 3 hours, like very late at night. It's the only time I have. I've got a wife and I got 2 kids, and there's not a lot of time to play games like there used to be. But I'm on Steam. I do play games. Lately, the game that I've been stuck on is Ark Survival Evolved. I love that game. It's so much fun. But mostly, I just get in there and I'm in a tribe, and I kind of just do chores for a couple hours, and it's like sort of Zen relaxing in a very weird way, just to get on and do some sort of manual labor tasks for the tribe, and then I kind of a couple hours later I sign off and I'm done with it. I also very much enjoy the Battlefield franchise. I love Battlefield 4, but I haven't played it in a long time because it's just sort of an older game now. It's been out for, I mean, close to 2 years, I think. So I'm looking forward to the next Battlefield. I also don't have a next-gen console. I've got a PlayStation 3, and my computer here is decent, but it's really not spectacular for video games. Like I've got a GTX 960 video card, which is not the best video card, and it's a AMD processor with like 8 gigs of RAM. So it's an okay computer. It's not a gaming computer by any stretch of the word, though. So I can't really run, games on Epic or anything, and so games like Battlefield on the PC would just be terrible for me. That being said, though, Battlefield 5, when that comes out, I might have to get a PlayStation 4 and play it on there. Plus, the first-person shooter games, I'm used to the controller. I'm not so good on the keyboard and mouse with the first-person shooters. I'd have to like kind of relearn how to do that. I downloaded CS:GO, and I was trying to play some CS:GO not that long ago, and man, I was so bad. I sucked so bad. I played for about an hour. I turned it off. I never went back to it. Oh my god! I know you gotta play and keep playing to learn, but Christ, I was terrible. Just terrible at it. And it's just because I don't have time to play video games. I barely play video games. Well, thanks, guys. And sorry this is sort of lagging right now. I've got my elastics. It's sort of frozen. Not doing anything. I got stuck on the elastics module of facts. David, if you work from, I don't know if you answered, if you work for elastics or not, but do you know what this is and why it's stuck on this? Do you have any insight into that? Or are you just from Ecuador and you don't work for elastics? Yeah, I don't mind sharing my stream ID. If you want, you can send me an email offline. I don't want to put it on the YouTube video, but I certainly don't mind sharing it. Well, I'm going to stop this because this doesn't seem to be working. Let's see. Should I let it go? I hate this. Should I let it go or should I stop it? Maybe I'll just try to do a new one. I'm going to try to do the beta version. New virtual machine, custom, next. I will install myself Linux. Wait, is CentOS 7 2.6 based? Let me try, let me see. If I select here and I go browse for the 4.0 beta, Fedora 64-bit detected. Fedora 64-bit detected. Interesting. I will install the operating system later. So is CentOS 7 Linux kernel version? Does anyone know offhand? Oh, okay, wait a minute. CentOS. Oh, that just tells you how to check. I know you can do uname-r, but that requires that you actually have a CentOS 7 Linux server up and running. Oh, today we'll learn how to upgrade. I wonder what it comes with. I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm going to say, oh, you work for another company that used Elastic. Okay, yeah, no worries, man. No worries. All right, let's see. I'm going to say that it's going to be generic. I'm just going to try the 2.6 kernel 64-bit and see if that works. I'm stacking up my virtual machines now. Oops. Next, next. 1 gig. Next. Bridged. Next, next, next. Next. 10. Next. Next. Customize. Click. ISO. Browse. Elastics Beta. Close. Finish. Yeah, this one's stuck. That one did not like the virtual machine install. All right, so let's try CentOS 7. Power on this virtual machine. Install CentOS 7 with Elastics. Here we go. I don't know how long it's been too, but guys, look at this. The Raspberry Pi is still upgrading. That's crazy. Takes a long time. All right, I'm going to kill this one now. I'm pretty convinced that this is stuck. Power, shut down. Should start getting requests timed out here. Yep. All right, so I'm going to kill that off. What happened? Control C. There we go. All right. And we're going to, oh, this one. Okay, here we go. Ah, here we go. So this is the new CentOS 7. All right, Hapid, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Midnight in Belgium. That sounds like a movie. All right, man. Have a good night. All right, so date and time. Want to do Pacific time. Done. Keyboard, language support, fine. Installation source, local media, installation destination. Okay, so 10 gig. Yes, this is where we want to go. Automatically configure partitioning. That's fine. Okay, done. No disk selected. I thought I did select the disk. Sorry, you guys are supposed to be seeing the screen. Let me go back and forth. Hang on. It is much more interesting when you can actually see what I'm looking at. There we go. Sorry, guys. Yeah, like I said, I'm still new at this streaming, so switching back and forth is something I don't think about. All right, so automatically configure partitioning. Why is this not working? This is the disk that I want. Done. There we go. Okay. Network and host name. Let's configure the network. All right, so Ethernet we want to turn on. Connecting. There's the DHCP IP, but I want to actually do it manually. Hey, Tyler. Welcome. I don't know if you've been sitting here the whole time, but welcome. Okay. We want to do manual. Add an IP address. 192. Oh, crap. 192.168.200. We'll do 14 now. /24. 192.168.200.1. DNS servers 4.2.2.2. Do you just do a space or a comma? I'll just leave the 1 for now. Save. How come I didn't pick it up? That should be right. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Save. Okay, done. Okay, begin installation. All right, so we'll see what CentOS 7 does. Root password is not set. I guess I can do that here. Weak. Your password is weak. You have a weak password. Done. I did install CentOS 7 one time before, and it worked pretty well. I don't remember if I did Elastics 4.0 though. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And again, for anyone who's just joined or just started joining, what I've got going on here is this is the Raspberry Pi PBX over here. It's in the process of updating. Maybe running the update on the live screen wasn't such a good idea because it's probably been, oh, I'm sure it's been updating for more than half an hour now. It just takes a long, long time. And then over here, I've been trying to install elastics in a virtual machine. The 2.5 64-bit version didn't work. The 2.5 32-bit version didn't work. And now I'm on to the 4.0 64-bit version. So we're going to see if that works. Tyler was involved in our discussion on Verizon phones. I don't know if you saw it, but ultimately I think I'm going to go with the monthly payment option because it actually works out. Once you go past 2 years, it works out as the cheapest option. I mean, it's basically 0% financing of the phone over 24 months. And then after, the 25th month, you're still paying the lower line fee, but you don't have to pay for the phone monthly anymore. So it kind of works out, as opposed to if you just bought the $299 phone and after the 2-year period is up, they don't drop your line charge down to $20 or $25, whatever it is. So you kind of get hosed on that on that deal if you go over 24 months. So forget that, man. I'm all about total cost of ownership, and the monthly version is the cheapest ultimately. Yeah, good point. I mean, I even got a trade-in of this iPhone. This is the 4. Oh, see, again, I'm not looking at the screen. Let's see here. Turn off the screen share. There we go. Yeah, so this is my old phone. This is the 4S. This is an old school Apple iPhone. And this they're even going to give me $100 trade-in on. So I think I've had it for well over 3 years. Basically got it when it first came out. And yeah, now I'm going to jump to the 6S. Which hopefully will be pretty awesome. Wonder if this is pinging yet. Oh, see, look, that's interesting. Like the last Elastics box started pinging almost immediately as it started installing packages, and this one is not. Very interesting. Just differences, I guess, between the versions. Well, sorry this isn't more exciting right now, guys. Let me see. We can look at Cortana. Hey, baby. She kind of stares right into your soul, you know? If you look up, like when I created this wallpaper, I was, I did a Google image search for Cortana. And like, there's a ton of people who have like mocked up like sexy Cortana, like wallpapers that have her very scantily clad. I thought that was pretty funny, but I don't think those are the official Microsoft versions. Let's see. Here we go. Nope, that's my device manager. There we go. Elastics. If you guys have FreePBX questions, networking questions, anything like that, now's the time. I do actually have a working FreePBX up somewhere. I think it's at, let's see, 192.168, 200.9. Yeah. So I've got a working one up and running. I can show you stuff if you're interested. This is running on an old desktop class Dell machine. 2 modules available for upgrades. Let's go ahead and do that. This is sort of my physical test machine. I've got virtual machines that I use for testing, and then this is the one that's actually a physical box that I use for testing. Well, that's a big package. Five megs for that one. What was that? The framework? Oh yeah, the FreePBX framework. Okay. I don't have any of the commercial modules. This is let's see. Commercial module requires a license for pro features enabled. So this isn't the system admin module that comes for free. Let's see. Well, yeah, good question. Hang on, let's see. So what I'm using for card, oh, let's see, it's going through now. I did this, by the way, on a different card. I've got two micro SD cards. I've got this, I don't know what class it is. It's a PNY. Can it say what class it is? Is it the little like number that's in a circle? Is that the class? I really don't know that much about micro SD cards. If it's the number in a circle, then this says 4. Is that just like super slow or something? It was like the cheapest one I could find at Staples. But this is a 16 gig card, and this one, here, I'll put it on here. Always switching back and forth to the camera. So this is a PNY 16 gig micro SD, and this one, yeah, like I said, it does say 4, like kind of up there in the corner, like right there. You can't really see that, but I guess, is that the class? SD is class 10. What distro does the Raspberry have? So the Raspberry is just the image that you can download from Raspberry Asterisk. Here, I'll show you. Class is a number with circle. Ideally, you want 10. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to do some testing on that and see, because I think these are probably both 4 is very slow. Yeah. So I'll have to see what this one is. I don't know if I mean, I can't look at it now because it's still upgrading, but yeah, I'm not even sure I was really even aware that there are different speeds of SD cards. I guess that makes sense. Let me look up on Newegg, like what's a 10, like a 4 gig 10 class 10 card go for? Or 8 gig maybe. Micro SD. Here we go, class 10. I mean, they're still super cheap. Look at that, 32 gig class 10, $11. I should know better than to buy from Staples, but I just wanted to have it yesterday. Class 10, class 3. Oh, hang on, something's going on in the background here. What's this? Oh, okay, that did not work. Entering emergency mode. Exit the shell to continue. Type journal CTL to view system logs. Failed to mount /sysroot. Dependency failed for initRD root file system. Dependency failed for reload configuration. I wonder if I got the wrong base Linux version. It did not like that. I'm going to have to install this on my physical computer and then see what the Linux kernel is on CentOS 7, the kernel version, and see if maybe that's why it got screwed up. But no, that was a no-go. Oh, hey, look at that. We're done. Finally. But now it's here. Let me actually pull this, and I can let me pull the power. I'll tell you what the card was. So this was a, turn that back on. So this micro SD card is also a class 4. So the one that came with it is a class 4. Well, that's cool, man. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm gonna buy a class 10, and hopefully that'll be a lot faster. Plug this guy back in. Here we go. Plug. All right, that'll be back up and running in just a minute. Yeah, that's good to know. Let me go back to Newegg. What's a 4 gig class 10 single card up to 8 gig? class 4, class 4, class 4, class 4, class 4, class 4, class 4. I guess smaller cards are lower class. I mean, I'm not seeing any class 10 cards in the lower sizes. UHS1 or UHS3 are even better. Still less than $1 per gig. Like here's a Transcend, oh, it says 10. Transcend 4 gig micro SD high capacity, one card, $7.30. That one looks like it would probably be pretty good. UHS1. Class 4. Yeah, so that's probably cool. I'll probably get something like that. And that one looks good. Transcend's a decent brand. I mean, at least they're one I've heard of. Top Ram, I've never heard of Top Ram. Let's see, let me add this to cart. Oh, it's not even a... I tried Elastic's MT on VirtualBox today, and it was successfully installed. Give it a shot. What did you use for... well, I don't know how VirtualBox differs from VMware. Oh, Amazon has the best deals? Gosh, Newegg usually has the best deals for most computer stuff, but I'll check Amazon. Let's see, micro SD class 10. 32 gig, 64. I don't want one that's necessarily so big. It doesn't have to be. I mean, if you're, I believe, and maybe Tyler, you know if I'm wrong here, but I believe that if you install the image onto a 30 gig card, you're still only going to use the 4 gig size of the image, from what I understand. I read that. So it like doesn't really matter what size you get. Well, here's a SanDisk 8 gigabyte class 10, $6.29. That's not bad. But shoot, I mean, even if it is just using a small portion of the disk, like SanDisk is a good brand. Here's a 16 gig class 10 for $8.19. That's probably not a bad one to get. Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I didn't realize that there was such a big difference in the speeds. Maybe I'll time it and see what the difference is. All right, well, let's reconnect to this thing. And we don't have much time left. I think we just have enough time to like, I'm gonna hook up a phone. There was an option to expand it on first boot. So it will expand to the 4 gig. So we'll expand the 4 gig partition to the max. Oh, okay. Oops. Was that option here? You mean when you first boot into the Raspberry PBX, there's an option to expand it? Interesting. I'll have to look that up. I mean, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, honestly. I mean, I guess 4 gig is a little small because, like, just the default install, it's using 1.8 gigs. So it only leaves 1.6 gigs. Oh, the RASPBX image will not let you expand. I mean, there's 1.6 gigs free. And really, when you're installing the PBX, most of the rest of the space is going to be used for like log files and like voicemails and recordings, right? And voicemails and recordings are 1 megabyte per minute. So 1.6 gigs means you can have, you know, assuming you're not filling up your log files too much, about 1,500, 1,600 minutes of recording, which is not terrible. I mean, I wouldn't want to run a PBX with that small amount of recording if I was putting it in production, but it's certainly more than I would need for this little test unit here. That's interesting, though, that you can't expand the RASPBX image. So I guess people just don't do a lot of recording and voicemails if they're using this thing. All right, well, let's do, I'm not going to do install failed demand because I know that takes a little while as well. But let me go back into the FreePBX and actually, RASPBX, here we go. Let me actually log in again, and we'll set up a phone just to make sure that's working. Yes, with the old version of RASPBX, you can expand. but the latest will not let you. You can still overclock it. Okay, so 3 modules available for online upgrades. Let's go to our extensions. You know, it's interesting too. I don't think you can do commercial. I didn't find that you can do some of the commercial modules. Let's take a look at that. You can do some of the commercial modules, but you can't do like the endpoint manager. Check online. That's pretty much the only commercial module that I actually really use. I mean, I'll use the sysadmin one if it's there, but I don't buy it if I don't have to. But like the endpoint manager is very, very handy. Let's see. Yeah, see, I don't see the Schmooze endpoint manager. There's this one, the OSS PBX. This is the free version endpoint manager, but it's not as good as the Schmooze one. Yeah, so they don't have the ability to do the endpoint manager in here. Oh, thanks, Tyler. You're right. Start screen share, present to everyone. See, that's why I wish I could just have my little, sort of face in the corner and then just always be showing my screen. That would be so much nicer because then I don't have to remember to switch back and forth all the time. Okay, so here's the FreePBX. There's no endpoint manager is what my point was, except for this one, the OSS PBX endpoint manager, which works. I've used it. But like it says right here, it is not supported by SchmoozeCom. Don't even try to call us about it. All right, so let's go ahead and upgrade all. Let's do that right now. So David, you're saying you could overclock the Raspberry Pi? That's interesting. I'm pretty new to it. Like I said, I've installed this. I'd actually like to, the next project I want to do with it is get it working with just like as a little cacti box, because I could, it would be very handy to have a cacti Raspberry Pi that I could just drop off at a customer site and have cacti monitor their SNMP internally if they're having like network issues and stuff. I mean, that would be a really cool application for the Raspberry Pi. Okay, let's do an extension, and then we're going to call it a day. Yeah, I bet the whole thing would be a lot snappier. Now that you told me about that class 10 card stuff, I bet the whole thing's a lot snappier when you have a better card in. User extension. I always start with 700s. We're going to call this Walter White. Okay, don't worry about any of that. Don't worry about any of that. Here's the password. I'll need that in a second. Might as well enable voicemail. Let's throw a password on there. Email address. We're not going to do email. BMX locator. There's no user module. Is that something you can install? Let me go check that out. So it is a very Raspberry Pi config. Okay, that's good to know. This is a very light version of FreePBX. Yeah, Libra would be cool on it too. I'm not as familiar with that. But look, let's go back to our module admin. I want to see if I can do the user module. It should be in here. Yeah, user management, not installed. Download and install. Process. You don't necessarily need to do user manager. It's just I'm used to it with having multiple extensions on the box and whatnot. It just makes it real handy. Okay, so here's my phone. Let's bring this over here. So I've got a, you guys can't see this, but it is a Astra, what is this, a 480i. I've got a 480i. What is the IP address? Network disconnected. Why is the network disconnected? Oh, why is this off? Hang on, let me switch. Technical difficulties, guys. Hang on one second. Let's see. Let me switch it back to my screen so you guys can see what's going on here. So yeah, I brought my 480i over, and it says network disconnected because the switch is off. why is the switch off? The switch is plugged directly into here. The switch has power. Oh, there it goes. Well, that's cruddy. This is a brand new Ubiquiti Tough Switch PoE. And it was just like straight up off. Like I literally just unboxed this thing today. Oh, network's back. That was weird. All right, well, I'm going to get the IP address of this thing. Options. How do you get the network? Here we go. Password 222222. No, password 456. Damn it, what's the password on the asterisk? 22222. That's it. 5 twos, not 6 twos. IP address is 130. All right, so let me go back to my screen. I'll remember to switch it this time. Tyler, thank you. There we go. Present to everyone. 192.168.200.130. Check the connection between the power brick and the IEC cable to the wall. It's solid, man. It's in there. It's in there, and it's plugged directly into the back of my APC back UPS 1500. All right, authentication required for Astra. Is it admin? I always forget these things. 2222. Okay, there we go. Yeah, admin, and then mine is set to 5 twos. Okay, so let's see. Line 1. Oh, look, there we go. Same. Okay, that's already good. Good. Let's go to my PBX applications extension. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm confusing myself. Applications extensions. 700. And actually, while I'm doing this, let me bring this up. I'm going to do some *-rvb. Just keep an eye on that while we're doing this. Here, I'll put that over here, and I will put this one here. Okay, so let's see if user manager is there now. Should be. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's grab the SIP password. Copy that. Go over here. Paste it. 200 dot. Shoot, what was it? 156. $156. All right. I could probably also do FreePBX right there as well. Okay, proxy port. I don't need any of that. Registrar 156. Save. Did it register? Nope. Oh, save password. You must restart the phone. Okay, so reset, restart phone. All right, Scott. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Really appreciate it. We're almost done anyways. I'm going to get this phone going, and then I'm going to call it quits as well. Thanks, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is sort of my first foray into the live streaming. I'm going to do it a lot better next time. I'm going to try to set up the Open Broadcaster software instead and see if that works a little bit better. Boom, there we go. Peer 700 is now reachable. SIP show peers. Look at that. Okay, that's what I like to see. Let's try dialing 7777. There's probably nothing right now. Dial.
The number you have dialed is not in service. Please check the number and try again. 7777.
Okay. So it's connected. That's good. Maybe I'm not going to leave just yet. Let me do an inbound route. I hate leaving it in this state. All right, so let's do system recordings. Okay, let's see. 700. Go. *77 dial. Thank you for calling Los Pollos Hermanos. We're not here to take your call at the moment, so please leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
To listen to it, press 1. To re-record it, press star, followed by pound.
Nope, all good. Okay, so we're going to call that closed. Or, yeah, I guess closed works. Okay, save. Okay, here we go. All right, finally, let me do inbound routes. Nope, not yet. Announcements. Closed. Recording. Closed. Destination is going to be Walter White's voicemail. Submit changes. Actually, I won't even do unavailable. I should do Walter White, no message. Submit. Okay, so let's go to our inbound route now. And we're going to say add incoming route. We're going to say main. We're not going to do a DID or a caller ID. We're just going to set the destination to be announcements closed. There we go. And apply. There we go. Try it again. 7777. Thank you for calling Los Pollos Hermanos. We're not here to take your call at the moment, so please leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Wonderful. Check, check, check. This is a test of voicemail. Check, 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 check. All right, cool. So, well, thank you guys so much for joining. It took a lot longer. Wait a minute, what's that? Oh, voicemail. I thought the network was disconnected again. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. I really, really, really appreciate you coming on my inaugural. Oh, Spider-Man's back. Hey, Spider-Man. Just in time for me to sign off. Just in time for my inaugural live stream. What I've learned in this live stream is that a few things. Number one, there are different classes of micro SD cards, and you want a class 10 card if you want a fast, snappy Raspberry Pi. And also, I found out that the YouTube streaming software kind of sucks. Sorry, it just does. It's the Google Hangout stuff, you know, it's just no good. Well, anyways, thanks everyone for joining me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you missed any part of this, the video will be up on YouTube. And I'm also going to be doing just a straight up Raspberry Pi build video in the very near future as well. So thanks so much. You guys have a great weekend, and I really, really appreciate the support. All right, have a good one.